Good morning and welcome to P&B Sports Show, where we break the game down beyond the scoreline. I'm Al Cotton, and this morning the UEFA Champions League takes center stage as two European giants delivered statements on the continental stage. In Prague, Barcelona survived a scare coming from difficult moments to defeat Slavia Praha 4-2, showing both their attacking brilliance and defensive vulnerability. And at Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid sent a clear warning to Europe, dismantling Monaco 6-1 in one of the most dominant performances of the Champions League round. What tactical decisions swung these games? Who truly stood out? And what do these results tell us about Barcelona and Real Madrid's European ambitions? I'm being joined by our in-house analyst, Abel Sunday, and all the way from Lagos, football analyst, Walter Odige. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Tom, and good morning, P&B Sports Show.
Good morning. Do we have Walter with us? Okay.
I guess Walter is eating that somewhere.
Okay. So it seems like he's going to be joining us later on. Abel, let's get right into it. Talking about Barcelona's performance last night, a lot of people were surprised with what happened and how it started. And later on, it seems like they came back. They had to come back from behind. Twice, we saw that Hansi Flick even noted that the team was especially better in the second half. What specific tactical adjustments were made at halftime that you think changed the game flow?
Yeah, I think yesterday from Slovenia, the Czech Republic team, I think first they played better. They took the game to Barcelona in the first half, and then you could see how they were able to even force Lewandowski to cut that home goal. And of course, and when there's the home goal, that it means that there was a pressure already, because if you are under pressure, how would you score home goal? Do you get? So any home goal is that the pressure. It means that the Slavia actually forced Barcelona to make that error. And they consider what you asked the question. Let me go back to your question. You asked why. I think what changed that made them play better in the second half. I think it's from the midfield. Barcelona was able to settle the game, try to control the ball more, try to put those passes together. And that's the quality of Barcelona. When they put those passes together, they have the quality. They dominated from that midfield, and that is why you can see when those passes start connecting, you know that yes, they've clicked. And one thing in this backer team, whenever they click, you can just give it to them. There's no two ways about it. They can dismantle anything. If they can dismantle the teams like Real Madrid, of course, who else? They cannot dismantle. So I think against them, everybody expected that they are going to do it over the Czech Republic team. By large, by per degree, whatever standard, Barca is superior. If you want to look at the statistic, Barca is superior to Slovenia, and of course, definitely they did not go down without a fight. I just want to give them some credit to that, because them scoring 2 goals against Barcelona, of course, is something that they need to cheer about and also go back to the
okay. So
Walter is back with us.
Okay. So Walter, welcome to the show. We had to wait for you. Your presence was highly missed at the beginning of this show.
It's a privilege to be here.
Good morning. Good morning. Fantastic. Good morning. So let's continue with you, Walter. Despite the win, Barcelona's defense, it was so frail, and they were exposed. We saw 2 goals that basically came from set pieces. Do you think that this is a fundamental issue with the system and the positioning of the players? And what do you think can be fixed moving forward in the season?
There's nothing that can be fixed with Barcelona. They just think that they have issues, they have errors. Since last season, I think it was highlight. If you score them 3, they will score you 6. If you score them 4, they will score you 5. So, but this season, sometimes it hasn't really been good, especially when Rafinha was out. I told you it's so important to Barcelona. Some people say it is Rafinha FC, not Barcelona FC. It's Rafinha FC because it's so pivotal for that club. Just imagine was it on Saturday? He didn't play against Real Sociedad, and guess what? Barcelona were not able to, do their normal magic. They lose for the first time since he came because he didn't play that match. And yesterday he was back, and you can see the difference. It brings a lot to that team. And so you say, what were they going to fix? Barca, their defense is fragile. Their defense is soft. Their defense is something that can really disappoint them at times, but that's not their strength, and they know this. So they focus on their strength instead, which is the attack. If we are going to concede 2 today, how many are we going to score? They scored 2 against them, Real Madrid, the Super Cup also, and they said, okay, you know what, we considered 2, let's score 3. Yesterday they considered 2, okay, let's score 4. So that's just Barcelona, that's their strength, that's what they are very good at. And we also have to leave them at that. They are not the team that will keep clean sheets.
Okay.
They are not your Arsenal that Gabriel and Saliba, and they will guarantee you clean sheets every weekend. This is a team that they are fragile at the back, but when it comes to their attacking prowess, they are very, 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 very strong. So, yes, first half yesterday they were a little bit sloppy. They gave away so many chances, but the second half they showed why they are the biggest. Best team, or why they are the better side in that game. And yes, so it's a good result for Barcelona. It's a very good result because nobody wants to finish below the top 8. Because if you finish below the top 8, they are going to play playoffs, and I don't think any team wants to play playoffs right now. You don't want that fixture,
the weight of the fixtures.
Your season. Yes, so that's just the thing now. So I think it's a good win for Barcelona overall.
Okay. Talking about goals, you spoke about goals. You say once Barcelona, once they concede, they just want to score more than you've scored, and that is their strength. But talking about goals, we are going to moving on to a player who won the man of the match, Fermin Lopez. He was the man of the match and he had a crucial brace. Do you think that this should solidify his performance, should solidify his position, in the starting lineup, even when other key players are available moving forward? Or do you think that they should just stay with whatever is available, with whatever they already have available?
Fermin is for me is this season. I will not come here and lie and say I watched Fermin last season. Fermin this season is one of the best Barcelona players this season. Yes, it's really is important. This is not the first time. I think that was his brace yesterday. I think he has scored an hat-trick this season in the Champions. I think he has 6-7 goals in the UEFA Champions League this season. So he's a very important player. Obviously, he's not supposed to be a starter. I think Dani Olmo is ahead of him. I think Gavi is ahead of him. But when he has been given a chance this season, Fermin has done brilliantly well. Like every time I've watched Fermin, he's been that man that Barca looks to when they need inspiration, and he has been very, 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 very good. So for me, in all honesty, I think he should continue playing as long as he continues delivering the goods. He has scored an hat-trick in this against Olympiacos in the group stage also, and yesterday's brace, and I think he has scored 1 or 2 couple of goals. Yeah. So not only in the Champions League, in La Liga, I think he also has an hat-trick in La Liga this season. So he's an attacking midfielder that knows how to score goals. Chelsea already launched a £50 million bid for him last transfer window, which Barca rejected. So I think he's a talented player. He's somebody that Barca can build their team around. He's somebody that they can trust. He might still be young, but he's a very, very good and intelligent player.
Very young and confident, like you rightly said. Yes. But I know that Abel is itching to talk. Abel, there's another player that caused trouble on both ends of the pitch, and that player is Robert Lewandowski. He had an own goal, and then he scored a goal. He had a villain to hero moment in the match. Well, what is your opinion on his performance in that match, and how do you think that the goal he had boosted his confidence moving forward in the match?
Well, Lewandowski is He's a proven talent, if I may use that word. He's somebody that has been doing this over the years and is a veteran in that position. Of course, you cannot take anything away from Lewandowski. You saw what he did in Bayern Munich. He was exceptional, one of the best players there before he came down to Barcelona. Lewandowski, no doubt, has been one very, very good player. And I think even the own goal, when I was saying my analysis the first time I came up was saying that the pressure, it was Slavia's pressure that made that own goal to happen. But you cannot take anything away from Lewandowski. Even when you are saying Rafinha is one very, when Walter said Rafinha is one very huge component to that Barcelona side. I will also say Lewandowski also leading the front line is also one very, very important player to that team because, yes, considering the age, it still does not take anything away from him. He has the experience is there, the confidence is there, something that you have to, and having such a person to command your front line, I think it's a very, very good one for Barcelona. And look at the way he even keeps himself. He's over 30 something, but look at how he keeps himself. And he still played very well, as if he's still in his mid-20s. Do you understand? He's still playing well. Yes, he's still playing very well. I think he's still in his mid-20s. But you cannot take anything away from Lewandowski. He has done so well. And again, I want to say something, though you didn't ask this question. But I want to add something to what I said earlier. What I was talking about Fermin Lopez, and if he should be, you asked him if he should be among the starting lineup. I think it's a very good thing for Barcelona having players with such qualities fighting for the same position because they will improve. Because everybody don't want them to displace that. So you understand? When you see somebody's playing better, you want to catch up or even surpass that person. Do you understand? So you want to give your best. And when you have good players like that in one position, definitely you see the coach also have a whole headache to do for selection because should I go for Daniel Olmo or should I go for Fermin? Do you understand? So those are the things. And I think all round assessment, Barcelona did so well. And they deserve the victory.
Having to choose between players is one stress that every coach loves to have when you have extreme depth on your team. But talking about depth and having to choose players, we saw some super subs yesterday. We saw a sub like Marcus Rashford and, like you rightly mentioned, Dani Olmo, who made significant changes with almost scoring a stunning goal, and Rashford providing an assist for him. How crucial were these super subs for the final results moving forward for Barcelona?
This only shows that Barcelona have depth in squad. It shows that they have depth. Even on their bench, when they come up, you see that they still have something to show for it. Rashford came up from the bench, of course, have an assist. And Olmo came up from the had a goal. It shows how squad depth they have. Even when we're talking about Arsenal, that Arsenal has very good rich team, have quality players, both on and off the pitch. The same thing with Barcelona. But the problem, like what I rightly said, is the defensive lineup. But they don't have any problem with that. Score on timing goal, we know that we are capable to double that score line. And which is the very, very vital point, what I mean. They can double that score line and score Austin will score you 20. That's the case. So they can double those score lines because they have a very, very good attacking. So okay. I think they have a very rich squad, and that is why you could see even people coming off the bench, they still have a very huge impact on the game.
Okay. Walter, I think there's something that surprised a lot of people. We saw Slavia Praha, they put in a positive performance and they were leveled at 2-2 at halftime. How impressed were you with their approach towards the match, and what does this match say about their character despite their elimination from the competition?
Slavia Praha, a good team. This is not their first Champions League campaign. They're a team that they've turned up a couple of times. I remember it's last season they defeated Bayern. So they're a team that every now and then they can give a good account of themselves.
Yes.
They are not a big team. Obviously, I don't think they've ever proceeded to the knockout stages of the Champions League, but they are a solid side. They are the best team in Czech Republic. They are always winning the league. I think the past 3 seasons they are at least the top. So yes, I was impressed by their performance, certainly in the first half, because if the game had ended the way it was in the first 45 minutes, I think the analysis this morning would have been more of What would I trust you? Your questions would have been, what did Barca do wrong? Where did they miss it?
Obviously.
What happened? But now the question is a bit different. Now the question is more of how good Barca is. So it's just what it is football. You just need a moment to take your chance and to score your goal. So if you ask me, Slavia Prague, they've been very, very impressive in the past couple of seasons. And the truth is they can't do more than what they've got. They cannot achieve more than the talents that they've got. There's no place, no planet they should be beating Barcelona. And like we saw yesterday, they gave a very good fight from beginning to the end. And it was not just good enough because overall Barcelona are a far, far better team than them. But I was impressed with them. I think they did well. I think if they have given spirited performances like yesterday since the beginning of the season, probably they could have had a chance to leave the group stage.
Okay, fantastic. I think this victory sees Barcelona moving to the 8th position on the table, and it's going to help to keep their hopes alive moving forward and into the knockout stages. Well, stay with us because we are going to be taking a short break, and when we come back, we are going to be talking about the decisive and the strong and the determined win of Real Madrid against the Monaco side. Stay with us because P&B Sports Show will be right back. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. Now we'll be moving on to the decisive match, the decimation of Monaco by Real Madrid. One that people expected, but not this much. 6-1. Walter Odige, what is your take on the 6-1 performance of Real Madrid?
I think I expected it. I think I expected something like this.
But 6-1. We expected like 4-3, but not 6.
If you expect 4, you should know that there's every chance it can get to 6. If you expect 4, there's a reason why you expect 4, because the opposition is not good enough. The opposition, they've shown lack of quality, especially in their last 3 matches. They lost with similar scoreline, I think 5-1 to Marseille recently, and they also lost 4-0 to, I think, Lyon. So it's becoming, I'm even sure they will get a very good performance. They had about 19 shots in the day. That's something they've not managed to achieve for a long while now. So that's just what it is, and it's a good performance in the end. They won the game in the end. So congratulations to Real Madrid. They are outstanding and they were the better side tonight.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm still on you, Walter. We saw a Real Madrid that executed a devastating counter-attacks against Monaco. Was this a return from the monster, transition machine? And do you think that this is now in their DNA moving forward, past Champions League winning sides? And is this style best suited for the current squad that they have in Real Madrid?
This is how Madrid should play. Madrid should play with swagger. Madrid should play with style. Madrid should be allowed to free themselves. Madrid should play with individual quality. I don't think Madrid is a club that a manager can come in and want to implement a tactics. Madrid is not Barcelona. Madrid will not follow you and do tiki-taka. Madrid will not follow you and do possession-based football. Madrid just want to hurt you. They have the players. They have the personnel, they have the quality, and they just want to go at you, come again and again. Did you see the third goal? Was it the third goal now? No, the second goal. It's a typical Madrid goal. The movement from Vinicius to Camavinga, from Camavinga to Adagula, from Gula straight to Vinicius, then from Vinicius down to Papi. So that is the sort of thing we know Madrid to do. That is sort of club Madrid, that they have individual quality. So when you come in to try and manage Madrid, you don't manage them tactically. You don't tell them where to be. You don't tell them where to stay. You don't tell them this is what you do. No. You cannot teach Vinicius how to play football. You cannot teach Papi how to play football. You cannot teach all these guys how to play football. They are talented guys. What they need more of a Carlo Ancelotti mode of coaching is That is that mode of coaching that he was called. He used Xabi Alonso. So I was not surprised Alonso didn't last at Madrid. Yes, it's a young coach. It's painful because you want every young coach to do well, but I don't think it was the right call to approach Xabi Alonso in the first place. So Abeloa has come and he has returned to the basics. He has returned to the simple Real Madrid. Just play, show your quality. I'm not saying things are going to be very for minds, but I'm not saying they are going to end up winning the Champions League and the Liga. But what I'm saying is I am seeing a better style of Real Madrid than I saw while Xabi Alonso was around. So I think yes, this style of play is perfect. That's a better style of play for Real Madrid.
Fantastic, fantastic. We've spoken about the counter-attacks. We've spoken about Real Madrid's style, like Walter has rightly said. But moving on to you, Abel. Let's talk about the defense of Real Madrid. We saw them take 19 shots. We saw them receive 19 shots from the Monaco side. It just seems like Courtois somehow became a magician. We've seen this over and over and over again. But despite the dominant scoreline from Real Madrid, what do you think about Courtois' performance and several saves in the match?
Courtois is a veteran goalkeeper, if I can use that word. You could see Courtois when he was even in the Premier League. He did so well with Chelsea before he left to Real Madrid. And if you remember vividly, that period it was between David De Gea of Manchester United and Courtois. So Real Madrid wanted David De Gea, but they did not because of his allegiance, and he sold his life to Manchester United, which later betrayed him later. Do you understand? He was so humble to Manchester United, but Manchester United betrayed him. But that's the conversation for another day. But Courtois is a very good goalkeeper, and you saw what he did yesterday, putting on those couple of world-class saves yesterday. And if you're talking about Barcelona defense, that defense has been shambolic forever, even when during
Real Madrid's defense.
Real Madrid defense, it has been shambolic. Look at the injury that hits them up and stuff like that. So I think they are just trying to find their feet. And I know one thing about that back line. When it clicks, you don't need to change it. When you have that when it clicks, you don't need to change. But when you start having the bringing some persons in, bring this in, and you have issues. I'm sorry to digress again. You see what happened to Manchester United again. You have what's his name? This Argentine guy. I'm trying to remember his name. What are you a Manchester United fan? You should know who I'm trying to talk about. This Argentine guy. What is that his name again? Can someone help me out with the name? If we can't get the name, just move on with it. with his injury, you see that back line has issues. Most time when you have him, you have Dalot. When you have what that big man's name again? Pardon, you said what? I can't hear you. You're muted. I think so.
Is it Martinez?
Martinez, yes. I'm talking about Martinez. Martinez, you have Dalot, you have this guy, what's that big man's name again? I'm trying to remember his name. But that's not what I'm trying to say. But when you see you have those lines clicked, you changing them is also a problem. And I think you guys will agree with me that if a coach have his experience learning that back line, he does not temper with it. Whether he want to rotate team as much as he wants to rotate team. But you see that back line, what hits Barcelona sometimes, even the red card, remember they have red card problem, they run into problems of cards and also injury. So that also affects that back line. So I think this new coach, what he has to do, that's try to get those back lines together again.
Fantastic.
Have the connections, let them have their the understanding should be there. Then
yes.
But you cannot take anything away from Courtois. Courtois has been exceptional. Even since he came to Real Madrid, he has been one of the best so far that they've gotten as a goalkeeper. Apart from Casillas, sorry, because you cannot do with that. Casillas' record is something that
fantastic. Walter, let's talk about these players' individual performances. Vinicius Junior, was the man of the match with a goal and 3 assists. He silenced the home crowd who booed him early on. What do you think about his spectacular performance, and how important was his display in winning over the crowd in the match?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
I think Vinny Jr. is one player that has been disrespected so much in that Real Madrid team. You know, he's being disrespected every day, every time, and it's not nice. It's not cool. There's somebody that's won 3 UEFA Champions League, including being playing the pivotal role in 2 of those Champions League. There's somebody that has won La Liga. Signing of Mbappe, Madrid fans, you know, they've not been treating Vinny with the way that he would want them to treat him, and it's been sad to see, because, you know, obviously his form wasn't good enough towards the end of last season, and he started this season very well, but sometime again during the season he didn't. But I think he's back in form. So, in all honesty, I think he needed a performance like that against Monaco to remind the fans that Vinny Jr., I am one of your best players, if not your best player, and I deserve some respect, because yes, from the minute 1, you know, he was in superb form. I think 3 assists to add to his superb goal on the night. So really needed such a performance, and he delivered it on the platter of gold. Like you said, he was good before the start of the game. He was good also against Levante. They played Levante at the weekend on Saturday. He was also good. So he needed a commanding display. He needed a display to remind the fans why he's one of the best players in the world, and that was what exactly he delivered on the night.
Fantastic.
I'm happy for Vinny. Yes, I think he deserves such praise, and I think he deserves such performance. So happy that he's back on that level. And one thing with Vinny, once he's on that level, trust me, this is when you want Vinny to be on.
And it seems
now, it looks like that Vinny helped Madrid. With his performance,
it's obvious that his impact in the Real Madrid team can never be in doubt. Talking about another person, we'll be talking about the Frenchman Mbappe, who also scored twice against his former team. And we also have to commend Abaloa for the type of impact that he's made. You know, being able to help these young players to maximize their potential, especially other young players like those that he used for the left back positions, like Camavinga. You know, it's something that we expect to see moving forward from a Real Madrid side, and we expect to get better performance, especially after their loss against Barca in the Super Cup finals. Now we'll be moving on to our athlete of the day. And our athlete of the day, before we wrap up, is Fermin Lopez, one of the brightest young midfielders emerging from Barcelona La Masia system. Fermin represents the modern Barcelona midfielder, technically secure, tactically intelligent, and fearless in big moments. Against Slavia Praha, he didn't just score, he controlled tempo, pressed aggressively, and arrived late into the box with perfect timing, showing maturity far beyond his years. His rise is no accident. Fermin has earned his place through consistency, discipline, and a deep understanding of Barcelona's positional play. For his influence, composure, and match-changing contributions on a Champions League night, Fermin Lopez is our athlete of the day on P&B Sport Show. We had 2 matches, 2 very different statements. Barcelona showed brilliance, but also vulnerability. Real Madrid showed dominance and authority. The Champions League doesn't forgive weakness, and as the competition deepens, only the most complete teams will survive. My thanks to Abel Sunday and Walter Odigie for their insights. Thank you, gentlemen.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for watching P&B Sports Show. For more insights and in-depth analysis, follow us on all our social media pages. On YouTube at Politics&BusinessTV.English. On Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English. On Instagram on P&BTV_English. And on X, formerly Twitter, at PNBTV_ENG. I'm Aaron Cottom, and from myself and our entire team here on P&B Sports Show,